32 teams, 32 days. Today, the New England Patriots. Welcome to a series where we deep dive on every NFL team's offseason, from the very beginning when coaches are being hired, all the way to present day with preseason and training camp happening. Here's a list of videos that we're going to be dropping from August 1st to September 1st. So you guys are watching this on August 4th. If you see a team that you like, that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button so you can stay notified when we come out with that respective video. We will drop it on that date. Today, we have a Patriots fan that is joining us. Larry Giamfi actually stuck with the Patriots after Tom Brady left, so you know.
Real loyal.
It's authentic.
Through thick and thin.
A good friend of mine from high school. We've known each other for,
15 years, bro.
15, 16 years. How did you become a Patriots fan?
Well, I was born outside of the U.S., and when we moved to America, we lived in Rhode Island, which is obviously the New England area. So I kind of just gravitated towards all the local teams there, the Patriots, the Celtics. I hate baseball, but if I loved it, I'd root for the Red Sox and so on.
Yeah, this isn't time of baseball. Screw that. We're talking about the New England Patriots here today.
And I didn't immigrate from the Dominican Republic. Otherwise, I would love baseball.
Slap ass? Maybe I'll put that in. Sure, why not? Who cares? Let's go ahead and get started with the video with the coaches, the head guy, Mike Vrabel. Gerard Mayo comes in only for a year, doesn't work out. They bring in Vrabel. They feel like this is the guy that's going to be leading the franchise to success, and he's going to be around for a very long time. 54-45 is his record in 99 games as a head coach for the Tennessee Titans. 54% of the time he wins his game. It has been the postseason a couple of times as well. Actually had a upset victory against the New England Patriots.
I remember. That's when I knew the era was over.
The Tom Brady's last pass, man, that was
the interception. I think it was a pick six.
It was, yeah.
Oh.
That was, but they had success that year as the Tennessee Titans, and Mike Vrabel goes on to the Final Four in the AFC Championship. And then they bring in a familiar face in Josh McDaniels, who this continuous cycle of let's give him a head coaching job, doesn't work out. So he comes back. Oh, but he has another head coaching job with the Colts. He decides not to take it, comes back. Then all of a sudden goes to the Raiders, doesn't work out, comes back. So what are your thoughts on Vrabel, on McDaniels, on this new coaching staff, also Gerard Mayo?
I'm excited. It feels like we're finally having adults in the room, and I know a lot of people are going to take that as me taking a shot at Gerard, and it 100% is. Gerard is a Patriots legend. I'm very thankful for his contributions, but that whole switch from the Bill Belichick era to Gerard, it was just sloppy. We never had any formal coaching interviews. Kraft was just like, yeah, Gerard played for us. I love him. Let's just give him the job. But usually when a coach comes in, they have connections around the league. They've been a coordinator around different teams, and that's how you bring in staff. Gerard didn't have any of that. I think now, we're turning the corner. We've got a real professional. Josh McDaniels, he's had success as an offensive coordinator. Head coaching is another thing, but thankfully, he's been so bad as a head coach that he's probably not going to get another head coaching job again. Kind of like Steve Spagnuolo, where he'll just be a great coordinator for his entire time there, and we don't have to worry about losing him if we have a good season or two.
Yeah.
Terrell Williams, Vrabel sees a lot of potential in him, so I'm excited to see what he can bring. I think he can probably get the most out of what we have on defense, so I'm excited. It's a new era, and I'm ready to move on from the disaster that was last year.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Patriots fans are ready for this new era. Bringing in Drake Maye, bringing in a lot of young talent. This is a young team, and you get a fresh start. Vrabel has his guy. Vrabel has his squad. When we look at the ads, they added in Stephon Diggs, Mac Hollins, huge additions to the wide receiver core. I feel like with free agency, they made one of, if not the biggest splashes out of any of the teams, because Stephon Diggs, Garrett Bradbury, Morgan Moses, Milton Williams, Robert Spillane, Harold Landry, and Carlton Davis. That's 7 potential starters right there. So they offsetted a lot of the losses that they had. I mean, unless you see otherwise when you compare the ads and the losses.
No, I mean, we had the cash space to spend, and I'm glad they spent it. For my entire childhood into adulthood, we never spent any money on free agency. And I guess it worked for a little bit, but it's a new era now. You have to be willing to invest in the team. I know some people felt like they overpaid on some players, but seeing how bad we were and some of the players that we had last year, you have no choice but to overpay, especially when we're saving money on high-value players with rookie deals. Drake Maye's quarterbacks go high. He's on a rookie deal for another 3 years. Same with our left tackles, so we have no choice but to spend. And at the same time, some of the deals we have, we can get out of them in relatively quick time. Stephon Diggs, I know people thought we overpaid him, but after next year, we can cut him loose and It won't be a big cap hit. I think Melvin Williams was the biggest free agency spending we had this year, but if we look at the numbers, it's a 2-year deal. So if it doesn't work out, we can just cut him after next year and it won't be like a crazy cap hit. I hate to use the phrase again, but it's like having adults in the room, adults in the building, which is what we needed. So I'm excited.
Larry loves Gerard Mayo. He loves him.
I love him as a player.
Wise, financial literacy, if you want to call it. Like you were mentioning, you can move on from Stephon Diggs if it doesn't work out.
Right.
Which, he's healthy. It seems like he's in training camp right now. So we'll see how that works out as the number one target. But it looks like that they beefed up their offensive line. They bring in a familiar face in Harold Landry, at least Mike Vrabel. For him, he likes that defender.
Even with guys like Morgan Moses, I know he's like 34 or 35 years old, but he's not meant to be a long-term solution. He's going to be a stopgap, guys, as we continue to bring our younger players along and improve the team.
That youth is really built in the NFL draft. And speaking of the draft, they have the number 4 pick going into it, and they got their guy in Will Campbell. And I feel like pre-draft, maybe if Travis Hunter fell to them, they could go down that route. But Will Campbell was the guy they wanted to solidify that offensive line even more after adding Garrett Bradbury and Morgan Moses. And then Travion Henderson in the second round. They needed a skill position player to just bounce back, be that 1-2 punch with Ramondre Stevenson. Kyle Williams, they just continue to add on to that wide receiver room when last year that Jalen Polk and Baker, those picks just hasn't been working out so far. So they needed more of an alpha guy, and Kyle Williams, they feel like, is one of those guys. But if you look at the first 4 picks, it's offense.
I'm not going to get on here and give you all the advanced stats, but if y'all want to look it up, they're all bad. 30th in DVA on offense and defense. Like, we needed to improve, and it definitely addressed those issues on both sides.
Henderson and Williams, do you feel like that they're going to make an impact the rookie season?
For sure. If you look at the receiver room last year, not great. They passed on Ladd McConkey to take Jalen Polk. I could sort of see the logic there, but it hasn't worked out. And I'm pretty sure he's not even playing in training camp right now because of some muscle soreness. Kyle Williams, he's going to come in and challenge that third wide receiver role off rip, maybe even play for a second receiver. Travion, I think, is going to be a perfect addition to the team just based on how Josh likes to run his offense. He wants to make defenses respect the check down. So he's going to fit right in, be a Danny Woodhead type of player.
And do you feel like it's going to be like that Danny Woodhead, James White kind of role, or people are kind of comparing him to Jahmyr Gibbs, calling him Jahmyr Gibbs lights?
It might be both. I think the most underrated part about Travion is he's a really good pass blocker, just from the tape that I've seen. So if he can pick up a blitz and then immediately drop down and catch a pass, it's going to help immensely if there's nothing there.
Yeah, that pass blocking is very underrated. Gets you on the field really early. Actually, before pre-draft, before he was even drafted by the Patriots, general manager of the Indianapolis Colts, Chris Ballard, actually said, talking about Travion Henderson, he's one of, if not the best pass blocking running back that I've seen in a very long time. We're excited about those additions that they made, and then they added a little bit more depth.
Brady Swinson, I think, is a steal.
And then looking on later on in the draft, I mean, they added a long snapper. Joe Cardona is their longtime long snapper. They moved on from Cardona. Now let's look into the projected starters, starting from the quarterback and branching out to the skill position and the offensive line. With the quarterbacks, no question about it, Drake Maye is going to be the starter. Josh Dobbs is going to be backing him up. Then starting running back in an 11 personnel, we still feel like it's Ramondre Stevenson. And then the wide receivers, wide receiver 1, Stephon Diggs. Wide receiver 2 and 3, I don't want to really label them 2 and 3, Pop Douglas and Kyle Williams. I just want to say that they have different roles. Kyle Williams, maybe he's going to be playing more on the outside. Demario Douglas is going to be more of the slot guy. Great names that they have on the offensive line. Cole Strange, former first-round pick. Then moving on to the projected defense. Now here we go, licking his chops right here. The personnel is obviously going to change with Mike Vrabel being a defensive-minded coach. Most of the time, my personal opinion, I think 3-3-5 is where they're really going to excel. So Milton Williams, that big free agent signing that they had, is going to be on the defensive line alongside Christian Barmore and Keon White. Then you add in Spillane, the free agent signing on the right side, outside linebacker. Christian Ellis up in the middle. Harold Landry, a big signing as well. Like we mentioned, a lot of free agent signings that they had. Carlton Davis, they're going to be immediate starters.
We have probably one of the better cornerback duos in the league. Christian Gonzalez is massively underrated. Carlton Davis is a good corner. Christian Barmore is super underrated. Last year he had blood clots, but if he didn't miss most of the season before that, I think his numbers would have been very good. Keon White, also massively underrated. Jabril Pepper is always, when he's healthy, he's good. Kyle Duggar, in my opinion, is one of the better safeties in the league. He just doesn't get the recognition for it. So we've got talent there. We're probably going to have a better scheme than we had last year. If we stay healthy, I could see us being the top 10 to 13 defense. Realistically, I don't see why not.
Oh, absolutely. And Christian Barmore, it's crazy when you mentioned him. I was thinking back that he fell all the way to the second round, and Bill Belichick was just like, okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you for the free gift. But then moving on to special teams, I mean, nothing really to talk about. We talked about how Cardona moved on, or they released him. Now he's with the Dolphins. Now Julian Ashby is going to be the long snapper. Andy Borregales is the rookie kicker from Miami. We'll see if he comes in and does a really good job. And then kick return, punt return, Marcus Jones, jack of all trades. We've seen him play all over the field in different positions. And then moving on to the projected stats that we have, Drake Maye, I personally think is going to have a pretty good season. I think he's going to take a big step up. Just watching him play his rookie season, I hate to use that word, the eye test, because I sound smarter than everybody else. No, it's like, I just watch a lot of football, and just watching Drake Maye, it's hard to not get excited about him and see the potential that he has. Man, there's a game that I think last year against the Chargers, it was a Saturday game, where he made a few throws. I was like, holy crap. I mean, the Patriots
He's got talent.
They didn't do that well, but yeah, he has talent, and 26 touchdowns to 12 interceptions is what I have projected for him, but he does get it done with his legs. 592 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Do you feel like that this is kind of on par with what you feel like Maye could perform?
Yeah, this is definitely on par. And again, improved offensive line, improved weapons. I don't see any reason why he couldn't hit these, barring injury. It's going to be an improvement from what we had last year. We had literal bums out there last year on offense.
This guy all the time, when he talks about professional athletes, about them being bums, he says they should be playing with us out there on the court or the football field. Yeah, so maybe he feels that way about Jalen Polk. I don't know.
I do, actually. I do.
Okay, he does.
Jalen will be here doing the Patriots segment next year.
All right. Well, I'm excited to bring him on, and I think that'd be great for the viewers. But moving on to the running back room, we got Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson being that 1-2 punch for the split. 212 carries for Stevenson, and then 137. But then the passing game is where Travion might get a lot of the bulk of the looks.
I think that's right about on target. It's going to vary depending on who we play. Josh is not going to roll out the same offense or the same offensive scheme every week. We're going to have fundamental things that we do, but he's going to adjust to who we play. So there may be weeks where he's not getting any targets, and there may be weeks where he's the focal point of the offense.
The wide receiver room, Stephon Diggs, we still have him as the solid wide receiver one, heavily targeted wide receiver one. He was having a very good year last year with the Houston Texans, unfortunately tore his ACL. But he was heavily targeted. 139 targets is what we have projected for him. Cracks 1,000 yards, 94 receptions, 7 touchdowns. And then Kyle Williams, and then I saw him going off in camp a little bit more, so I just kind of bumped up his yards per catch, bumped up the targets just a bit, took some targets away from both Pop Douglas and Diggs. I think he's going to command that a little bit more, but for DeMario, that slot receiver could be the second most targeted receiver in that room. I'm not going to say second most targeted player, because that might be Hunter Henry. But looking at the stats, as far as the receptions go, 94 receptions versus 49 versus 60. Is there anything that you would change? When we go over to tight ends, Hunter Henry, I think, is very underrated. Heavily targeted, 94 targets, 65 receptions, 644 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. Every year is the narrative. Oh, Hunter Henry is just another guy, but...
And he's got chemistry with Drake from last year.
It absolutely has chemistry.
Big red zone target for him.
Moving on to the last segment that we have for the video, it is a record projection. So I've been saying this throughout every video, but I don't give just one record. Say the Patriots are going to go 8-9, and anything outside of that is wrong. I like to give a window. So somewhere between 5 wins to 12 wins is what I have projected. And if we look at this graphic, you can see at the floor, okay, 5 wins, no division, no playoffs. That makes sense. 8-9 is the expected record that we have. But then the ceiling, 12-5. They go to the playoffs. That's good enough to make the postseason. But then you see the division. They win the division at 12-5. And the reason why I have that is because I like to pinpoint a lot of swing games.
Yeah.
So for the Patriots, games that could go back and forth, there's a bunch of them. The Browns, Titans, Giants, Saints, Panthers, Steelers, Raiders. I would even put the Bills in there. They could split with the Bills one-on-one, and if that were to happen, hey, if they reach their ceiling, I feel like that they could get a win over the Bills. Maybe the Bills and the Patriots tie at 12-5, and then the Patriots could get the tiebreaker. That's why I say that a division win is not out of the question. Not to say that the Bills are going to do bad, but if the floor for the Bills is 12-5 and the Patriots go 12-5 and have those key wins, maybe they win the division.
I'm expecting 8-9. However, I think our schedule is pretty soft. We're playing a fourth place schedule. I think we have a better roster than the Dolphins, and we're right there with the Jets, depending on how you feel about certain players. The first 4 games, all very winnable. I could see them going 3-0 if things shake out correctly. And then it's just a matter of winning swing games. So there's a world where they could get to 10 wins, challenge for a wild card round. I'm not expecting that, but I could see it. Realistically, I'm with you. They'll probably hit that middle and 9, which I'll take. We're garbage next year. So 8-9, step in the right direction. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the projected records that we have for the new Patriots. If you guys agree or disagree, comment down below. We would love to hear your thoughts. Larry, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. One last thing. Drake Maye is going to make a second Pro Bowl this year. That's my guarantee.
Dude, listen. At this point, with Tyler Huntley making the Pro Bowl, why not him? Why not him? But I appreciate you guys joining us for this video. Patriots fans, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the videos that we come out with. Tomorrow's video, we're going to be talking about the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, talking about their offseason and can they repeat as Super Bowl champion. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.